Hey folks, we're back again. I can't believe I'm still here in Asheville. This is Alan Graff. I'm at the Cattywampus studio, and this is episode 4. We made it to 4. Oh my God, it's fantastic. Well, today we have a very, in their own words, eclectic group. Indelible Sauce. Welcome to the Cattywampus studio.
Thank you for having us.
Asheville Music and Revolution.
Pleasure to be here with
you. Yeah, I noticed, first of all, I want to say I noticed your shirt. Now, what does your shirt say? Because I have a message shirt on too.
Well, the March for Our Lives organization.
Okay.
An amazing group of people that came from the massacre at Parkland High School in Florida. The way that those kids were able to mobilize X amount of weeks before that massacre, yet another massacre in the United States, and my mom and daughter and I went up to the march, and we're just extremely moved by the experience, and I think they're doing incredible work for this tremendously avoidable epidemic of gun violence.
Gun violence.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so we'll exchange shirts today. I'm wearing.
We could trade later.
Stand with Red, and Red is a woman. When I lived in Virginia, she owned a piece of property in Southwest Virginia, and found out one day that Mountain Valley Pipeline was going to put a fracking pipeline across her property. So she's actually a very conservative lady, and she probably would have never did this, but one day she said to her husband, build me a tree house. I'm going to go up there and live in it and prevent the pipeline from going through right on the pipeline. So she sat in there for about 3 months up there, and had food delivered to her, pooped in a can, and basically kept the pipeline from going through her house. So I stand with Red, and interestingly enough, after 4 years up in Virginia and West Virginia, the pipeline still hasn't completed. And now they're talking about putting a new one in the Pacific Northwest. And of course, I heard on the news that the people who were talking about it swore this was not going to affect, climate at all, fossil fuels going through pipelines. So, we're living in a crazy world as musicians.
Sure.
And you guys are also activists too, correct?
Yes.
Well, just out of curious, what do you do when you're not playing music?
Well, my main modus operandi, if you will, is you're basically being with my kids and fixing guitars and amps and stuff. And beyond that, anytime we can, we're involved a lot in the autism community and in the just equal rights in general is where I would like to see everything go. But yeah, that's a lot of the stuff that I'm involved in is based, a lot of the stuff that I do is based in neurodivergence, if you will.
Yeah. So. I'm starting to get a flash here. Did you fix my amp for me?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I know this guy.
Does it still work?
All right. What's that?
Does it work?
Oh, my brain or my amp?
Both, I suppose.
Yeah, it's still working over here.
Excellent.
We're still using it. And you're in the mental health and physical health field.
Yeah,
right?
well, I've done a lot of. I started, I guess, as a young teenager.
Yeah.
Living in northern New Jersey at the time. I was working in New York City with the homeless houses community, East Village, Tompkins Square Park, Port Authority, in the 80s, and have done a lot of work, with that community. Just one of those people that if I have the capability of of actually physically making a change, I will make that attempt.
Okay.
So I'm work in community health right now at a wonderful local community health clinic.
For the Bahar Road, the frigate bird, the mighty duck, the Arctic terns, and the Alpine swift. How anyone could shoot you down and pluck you from the sky is beyond me. They obviously don't get it and can't see what I see. You were given a gift to float and swim and fly. I can see your formation as I look into the sky with colors and designs so beautiful, and your ways so magnificent and unique. So, tuck your head and touch. Tuck your head and breathe. Tuck your head and start again. A cookie, wacky, quacky friend. Tuck your head and touch. Tuck your head and breathe. Tuck your head and start again. A cookie, wacky, quacky friend. How anyone could shoot you down and pluck you from the sky is beyond me. They obviously don't get it and can't see what I see. You were given a gift to float and swim and fly. I can see your formation as I look into the sky with colors and designs so beautiful, and your ways so magnificent and unique. So, start
bit about you have a two-person band,
Yes.
and that's unusual. Usually, two-person bands are like acoustic bands, and you guys just like hit it really hard, both of you. So you don't need a bass player, you don't need a guitar player. You're doing both, right?
Yeah.
With effects and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. And both of you sing.
Yes.
And why don't you describe what your music is like?
Well, it's original.
Yeah.
We have many influences. Speaking personally, I'm influenced by the owls in my neighborhood, the red wolves down the block at the nature center, and
I never heard those at Grey Eagle. Is that a new band, the Owls?
I think they're on their way. Yeah, they're
we
low.
have, we
They're
also
low
have
on
the
the bill.
Bears. We have the Bears.
The Bears,
Yeah.
of course, with their
Yeah,
they have that effect.
that's great. That's great. And you consider yourselves, now this is something that's near and dear to my heart, and you'll see this in a lot of the episodes of Asheville Music and Revolution, which is why I call it that. But how do you combine, or is there any combination in terms of your music and a message? Or if not a message, some sort of effect on the world in terms of justice or equality and stuff like that? Do you see your music having that effect or purpose?
Well, certainly that purpose. However, it's hard to measure the effect.
Yeah, obviously. You know, I was thinking the other day, I said this to my wife, Picasso died a pauper.
Yes.
And I said to her, see, I'll be recognized one day.
Yeah.
I may not be here.
Yeah.
And, you know, I always think, well, artists, you know, ultimately, the true artist does their art for themselves, right? Or maybe they want to do it for other people too, but they first want to, you know, feel happy with what they did
Right.
as their own creation.
Sure.
And so, tell me a little bit about some of the songs you write. Are you the main writer, or do you help write also?
It's a combo.
Combo.
Really. Like it depends too. So like we both brought songs from you know, our other groups and just other life experiences, and then we will work together on things where, you know, usually it's like whoever's gonna sing it pens the lyrics, and then we kind of work together to flesh out the arrangement. So.
And I asked you a little bit about, you know, justice and social justice issues. Talk a little bit about that and how your music relates to that,
Well,
if it does.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, I think from a lyrical perspective, some of our material is more poignant and more sort of obviously intentional. For instance, I worked in the local emergency department for many years and wrote a piece called Frontlines. And to preface the piece, there's a performance art piece called On the Job, where we play a sample from noises that you may customarily hear in a waiting room, and I've got my scrubs on, and it comes from an actual perspective of something that's occurred too many times, where someone is declared dead and then their family member comes in. It could be their wife, it could be their daughter, it could be a friend, but basically absorbing the reaction that they experience. And then that goes directly into Frontlines, which talks about the amazing people that are there on the front lines here in the United States and elsewhere in the world. And most specifically in this piece, those that are leading with heart and leading with expertise, but continually combating corporate healthcare, where they are certainly doing their best, but there's those limitations because everything is so monetized.
Yeah. So you've been involved in healthcare for a long time.
Yeah, for about 20 years.
So you've seen the best and the worst.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen better, certainly.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
I lived in Guatemala for about 3 years, and I worked down there. When I was down there, it was a military dictatorship, And if you're Indian, basically the Indians, Kachikel Indians and Mam Indians, everybody calls them Mayan Indians, but in fact there's about 20 or 25 different sects and tribes of Indians in Guatemala. But all the Indians down there, and I worked in an Indian village, would be really scared to go to the hospitals because they said you just die in a hospital, and then they make the family pay to get the body back. So we might as well just die in our homes.
Sure.
So I thought, even though we criticize corporate healthcare, we're somewhat better than that. You know, technically, everybody has to be taken care of by the ER. It doesn't matter whether you have insurance or not, right? We at least have that.
Yes.
But then from that point on, if you need an operation or something like that, then it gets into whether you're insured or not. Any of that seep into your music, or your approach to music?
Yeah, go ahead.
Which aspect?
Oh, with healthcare. Well, you just talked about Frontlines. Is that the name of it too?
Well, it was on the job, which is
Okay.
the performance art piece from the perspective of someone who is working in the essence, and that goes directly into Frontlines. But I would certainly agree with you. Comparative to the rest of the world, we are, this is the lap of luxury in terms of what we have at our disposal.
Let me ask you, the world's always in a state of craziness. And, I think about, the younger people, my videographer, for instance, who's coming into a world where everybody's fighting and shooting each other and killing each other. How do you think, as musicians, what part do we play as musicians in terms of, if we think if this is the way to go? Some musicians might not agree with me. More peace, less killing. What's our part in that?
Well, typically, I feel like if we can write music that brings people together rather than creating rifts between people. I feel like that's that. Anytime I'm trying to spread the message, that's the main message that I want to spread with any music that I write. Let's be together. Let's be. Let's not get too worried about differences. Let's embrace our similarities, and everybody can get along if we all work together.
Right. And so that's the message in your music?
Well, I think as KRS-One from Boogie Down Productions coined edutainment, I think just the way of delivering education and purpose through entertainment is huge. I think today we live in a world where largely there's not a voice and or a group that we feel very comfortable and driven following. Like musicians, like the Marvin Gayes, the Bob Dylans, those that use that platform to spread that message. I think that is certainly lacking. So if we have that opportunity, and it's certainly a privilege to be able to play music, whether here with you in the studio, whether at home, whether in a venue. So if we have an opportunity to try to make a difference, we better do it.
That's awesome. Well, we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And we look forward to hearing you do some playing.
Thank you.
So thank you for coming to Cattywampus Studio. By the way, do you know what Cattywampus means? That's my test question.
Well, I mean, besides like it being askew and
you got it.
off,
Askew. Slightly out of
kilter.
out of kilter.
Yeah.
Exactly. The story of my life.
All right. Excellent.
All right. Well, welcome
Thank you.
Indelible Sauce to Cattywampus Studio.
First mistake I made is a step what I've been told. I said I am different, but I know what's in my soul. Cause people is people, no matter where you go. Had to make my way, get on down the road.
alike. So that's just what I saw. I'm finding everything under the sun that puts pieces of my heart. Viewing all my paintings with the colors of the world. Finding all the feelings, every color shown or told. Of the double plane, bringing back curios and tokens of the cultures, teaching anthropology, psychology, and love. Cosmic knowledge masquerading as dust on the wingtip of this here psychedelic, rhythmatic, funky spaceship. With all the jerky rhyme and all the jerky rhythm spread across the land and make every mess. But those who call it jobs don't realize they are in. Bunch of nugget bosses and turn into shit. Listen to this now, you may think about it later, like when you're on the go. Maybe just chillin'. Realize applications are more than they are best. Then you may find out taking no mind and all I have to do. First, make a human individual through and through.
What was the Port Authority majority represents and paints a much clearer picture of the world than the assigned artist commissioned a facade and told not to look down. Hey, yo, going back to 40th Street and the Port Authority was like going back to the scene of a crime. Only mere morsels of what was remain. The crime of being poor and down and out in one of the wealthiest cities on earth, punishable by displacement. The Gramps, Shorties, Little Mamas, G-Men's, Kales, Pixies, Juniors, Tyrones, Kennys, and countless more are meant to leave, die, or blend in with a no-threat coat and no identity to speak of. So never forget to look down. Never forget to look down upon the legs that were blown off for the sake of goodness. This woman, this man, this martyr sits wheelchair bound with only an empty coffee cup seeking change. It's been many, many years and the cup still tries to ring. Unseen amongst political agendas, real estate deals, and so very far from the forefront of human hearts. 40th Street, the port, the cardboard condos, the smells of life in a box, hustlers and violent laws, sacred spots to curl and rest, cheap highs to try to forget, and bag wine to maybe recapture a memory about how it felt to be safe, how it felt to belong, and hopefully how it felt to be loved. What was the Port Authority majority represents and paints a much clearer picture of the world than the assigned artist commissioned a facade and told not to look down. The port.